What up, y'all? I have some time to record another video today. There's a little bit of traffic heading into work, so I got some more time here. And I wanted to share with you guys some of my main tips I use to travel. I travel a lot. In the course of a year, I go to about 14 places in the course of a year, and I like traveling to 5-star hotels and business or first class. So it costs a lot of money, and I'm the kind of person I love to hunt for a bargain. I love to look for deals. I hate paying retail. Who wants to pay retail, right? So I'm always hunting for deals, and I always get ridiculous deals. To give you an example, for my birthday in June this year, I'm going to Japan, and I'm going in Qatar Airways business class, and I paid $645 round trip. Yes, you heard that correct. $645 business class round trip to Tokyo. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys the top 3 strategies I use to constantly find deals. Right, this is not an anomaly. I always find deals, not as good as this one because this is a phenomenal deal, but I always find crazy deals. Okay, so tip number 1. Okay, so let's get right to it. Tip number 1. Right, I never plan on a place that I'm going to and then try to find deals for that place. That's stupid, right? And the reason why I say that is because I'm putting such a limit on my scope of finding deals because I've already picked a place. Instead, what I do is I have a constant list of about 20 places that I would love to go see. And when I hunt for deals, I'm always scouring for deals for any one of those places, because ideally I'm gonna visit all those places. In what order I visit them doesn't really matter. So I don't lock in on one place and try to find a deal for that place. I look for deals, and if I find a deal to one of the places on my list, I go ahead and I lock in for that deal. Okay, so in a summary, don't look for deals just for one place. Try to get a list of around, at least, it doesn't have to be 20 places, but try to get a list of about 6 to 10 places, and when you're hunting for deals, hunt for deals for any one of those places. Okay, tip 2, right, I never wait until it's time for me to go on a trip for me to start planning. I look for deals every single day, except when I'm on vacation, right? Almost every single day, and it doesn't take a lot. I spend about 5 to 10 minutes a day in the morning. You know, I head to the office, I have a cup of Joe, and then I go on forums, I go on the blogs, and I'll have another vlog where I list all the vlogs and blogs and things like that I visit. You know, there's a ton of useful information online, and I spend about 10 minutes a day just, you know, seeing if there are any deals, right? So, and if I find a deal to one of the places on my list, right, I correspond with my schedule, with work, with family and stuff like that. And if it works out, and if it's in season, that's important, it's got to be in season for me to go to that place, I go ahead and I get it booked, right? To give you guys an example, I booked all my travel, almost all my travel for 2017 in a span of 2 weeks, right? You know, for some reason, so between January 3rd until January 18th of this year, there were phenomenal deals. You know, I got a deal to the Maldives, I got a deal to Japan, I got a deal to Seychelles, and a deal to Bali, right? And I booked all those in a span of 2 weeks, from the 3rd of January to the 18th of January. Okay, so tip number 2 in summary is don't wait until it's time for you to book. Always be on the lookout for deals, and it doesn't take long. It takes about 5-10 minutes. All right, guys, I've reached my office, but I gotta give you guys tip 3 before I leave. Okay, so tip 3. I never plan long trips from just my home city, right? If I'm going to the Caribbean or somewhere in the US, then I plan trips just like anybody else would, right? From my home city, Washington, D.C., hail to the Redskins, right? Even though Snyder's messing up right about now. But, so if I'm going to Caribbean somewhere nearby, I travel trips just like you guys would, right? But if I'm going somewhere far away, if I'm going to Bali, if I'm going to Maldives, if I'm going somewhere far away, then I just look for deals. It doesn't matter where it's from, as long as it's somewhat close to where I am, to DC. To give you an example, I have a trip to Bali coming up in 2 weeks, right? I paid $1,300, right? Well, I found a deal from London to Bali for $1,300, which includes 2 nights at a 5-star hotel called the Ayana Resort, which is an amazing place, right? Now, for a lot of you guys probably see that deal and be like, oh crap, I wish we had deals in my home city. Not me. I saw that deal and I'm like, how much is it going to cost for me to get to Heathrow over to London? And I found a ticket, which it's not expensive to go to London these days. I found a ticket round trip from Washington to London and back for $400, right? And so I said, you know what? Deal. So I went ahead and booked my trip over to Bali, and then I booked a separate flight from Washington to London, where I'm going to spend a couple of days over in London, where I can make a pit stop and check out my favorite juice bar called Joe and the Juice. You got to go online and see if they have a store close to where you are. A phenomenal place. So I'm going over to London, spending a couple of days in London, a city I love, and then I'm going to go over to Bali, come back to London, spend another day or two, and then head back to Washington. All for cheaper than it would have cost me to make that trip to Bali in economy. And a majority of that trip is going to be in business class. Okay, so tip number 3 is, if you're going on a far trip, don't just look for deals from your home city. Look for deals from anywhere, and then if you find a deal, see how much it'll cost for you to get to that place where that deal originates from. Okay, that's all I got, y'all. Now I gotta go and make some money for my next trip. Peace.